Hi, I'm Steve Richardson. If you're thinking about filing bankruptcy and have a lot of student loans, you probably know that it is very difficult to get student loans discharged in bankruptcy these days. It's a very tough test, and it's a three-part test in which you have to show that you cannot maintain a minimal standard of living for you and your dependents if you're forced to make the payments, and that situation is going to be a persistent state of affairs. It's going to continue for a while, and that you have to make a good faith effort to repay the loan. But what exactly do they mean by a persistent state of affairs? Well, what that means is that situation in which you cannot maintain a minimal standard of living has to persist for a significant portion of the repayment period on the loan. So say it's a private student loan that could be 20 years. That situation, your situation that you're in now, has to continue and has to realistically be anticipated to continue for a significant portion, or I would say the majority, of that 20-year period of time, for example. It has to continue on. Well, how do you know whether it's going to be a persistent state of affairs? Well, it's very fact-based. It's very based on individual situations. But ask yourself this: are you underemployed? Do you have a college degree or training that might qualify you for a much higher paying position, but you just haven't been able to get employment in that field, so you're underemployed? Well, that can make it difficult because the bankruptcy judge may say, well, that's the situation now, but the market may improve. A few years from now, you may be able to get a job in your chosen field, and that would increase your income and make it more likely that you can afford these student loan payments. Or, have you made more money in the past? Did you have a much higher paying job, but then you lost that job and had to take employment in another area, and now you're making less? Well, that can also be a problem because the reverse could happen in the future. You could get back on the horse. You could get a much higher paying job back in that field later on. So it can be difficult to establish that the situation you're in now is going to continue on for a significant portion of the repayment period. So, if you live here in southern New Jersey and you're struggling with paying student loans or just can't pay them at all and you're thinking about discharging them in bankruptcy, please feel free to give my office a call. I'd be happy to sit down with you in my office to go over your situation, whether bankruptcy can help you, and whether you may qualify for a discharge on your student loans.